time that government and toilet intersects, I can promise you that the Run Your Mouth podcast is on top of it. It happened a couple of weeks ago. You had our biggest boat in the entire Navy got taken out of commission because people were clogging up those toilets. They made the mistake of trying to make these more environmentally friendly toilets instead of just flushing things out into the ocean. The dumbest thing in the entire world, that people can't figure out how to get shit into the ocean. You can't figure out how to just have holes out of the side of the boat and have people shitting out their diarrhea into the ocean. And now we're finally supposedly taking a trip back to the moon, and the toilet's failing on these people. And you want to talk about the worst place on Earth to have a toilet failing on you? It's got to be in a non-gravity environment. Because, listen, when you clog a toilet, you know, you got to try and walk away and pretend like it wasn't you. But when you've got shit floating back out of that toilet, that's especially because now they got women astronauts. At least if it's a bunch of dude astronauts, your turd starts floating down the hallway. People have a laugh about it. One of the other guys who's got a physics degree is going, I think you're overeating on your rations, and I can tell because of the size of your turds. If you were eating the proper rations, you wouldn't have that much shit to be producing. We might get stuck in space longer. Are you going to doom us to starvation because you're overeating on your rations? I mean, we've all been there where you drop one a little bit too heavy, and you go to flush, and now you're looking for the plunger. But can you imagine in zero gravity where that thing starts floating back up at you? But I think that points to a bigger problem, and it's something that I've spoken about quite a bit, which is I think we need to start designing our society from the toilets up. Because toilets are always an aftersight. You go to the nicest restaurant in the world, they put all the thought into the lighting, the chairs, the tables, the menu, and then they got one toilet. And that's the place that's feeding you food. I'm talking about a world where, like Buc-ee's, we all like Buc-ee's because they started from the toilets up. Think about how much more time you would spend out of your house spending money, eating at bars, going to concerts. You know, we've got a consumer-based economy where all that anyone does is piss away their money. And I think if we actually invested in better toilet access for everybody, we could get this thing booming again. But the thing is, it's even our own NASA, when they make fake moon missions, they think about they're like, all right, we're going to make sure that the thing gets off. You start with the toilet. You start with making sure that you got the most advanced working toilet, and then you figure out how to get off the ground. And then you figure out how to go. It's always the last thing. They do everything, and then they're like, all right, yeah, people are going to have to shit. It's like, no, you start with that. We know that that's going to happen. You do the